What's up, my Naija people? How na dey? Now let's look at the issue that dominated the Lagos polity in the just concluded gubernatorial election. Is Lagos a no man's land? But first, I will not forget to join Nigerians in stating my dissatisfaction with INEC and the security agencies who yet again seems to have failed in their responsibility of ensuring a free, fair and credible elections. Just when we thought it can't get worse, just about 2 weeks after the February 25 sham in the presidential election, a careful observer of the Nigerian polity would agree that what we saw on March 18th in the governorship election is, to say the least, a national embarrassment. Was that an election or a war?
And the second election all in Nigeria. And the second election, like it was a pass.
If you are so ambitious, then go and do business. You cannot force me that to take you to serve me. You want to be a governor and the people don't want you, go and sleep or do business. But if you want to serve us as people, then you must be humble and you will not kill us before you serve us.
And the second election, like it was a pass. Papa nonsense. He passed the rigging. Corruption.
And to see that the situation replicated itself nationwide is very unfortunate. And you know, Lagos was the epicenter of a number of worrisome anomalies that should bother many Nigerians. How did we reduce the conversation to tribe and ethnicity? In Lagos, it appears that desperate politicians succeeded in selling the narrative that non-Yorubas had an agenda to foist a governor on the state. And by non-Yorubas, they basically are referring to Igbos and other peoples who are indigenous of Lagos. But these unscrupulous elements would rather consider them as outsiders, at least as far as the Lagos gubernatorial election is concerned. Therefore, the statement "Lagos is no man's land, Lagos is not no man's land" was brought to the front burner again. I must confess, this trend is a sad development that should bother every Lagosian and leaders of repute, as well as all Nigerians, considering what Lagos is to Nigeria. But is Lagos a no man's land? Here are 3 reasons why Lagos is no man's land. Do stay through to the end of this video because number 3 is very crucial. And please, if you are new to the channel, do remember to subscribe and also like. And if you are watching this video, please, I would really love you to like, drop a comment and share if you do not mind. It is the least you can do to support me. Thank you very much. Now let's get into this analysis right away. Number 1 reason why Lagos is no man's land. Lagos has a peculiar history. A lot has been said about the history and peoples of Lagos. While some say Lagos was founded and has always been dominated by Yorubas, others say it was actually founded by the Beninese. However, this is the fact of history of Lagos. It appears that it is a melting pot culture. No one can dispute, as historians generally believe the Awori subgroup of the Yoruba nation are people who first settled in Lagos. The Awori are a subgroup of the Yoruba, just as the Jebu, Ikale and Ekiti are subgroups. So history is quite consistent about the presence of a distinct Yoruba subgroup around 1550 AD when the Benin Empire invaded the region and established a somewhat colony. Of course, it can be concluded that from that point, the Beninese, due to their superior civilization, dominated the area and it largely became a part of the Benin Empire. As much as some Westerners or Yorubas may deny this part of history, which is that the Beninese had converted Lagos, there are incontrovertible evidences in present-day Nigeria to buttress this fact of history, as the Oba of Lagos actually swears allegiance to the Oba of Benin, as he has said on numerous occasions that he and his lineage hails from Benin. Now, away from ancient history, let's delve into some recent history about Lagos. The territory now known as Lagos State is a former colony province created by the British administration for their own administrative convenience. Lagos was declared a colony on 5 March 1862. The remainder of modern-day Nigeria was seized in 1887, and when the Colony and Protectorate of Nigeria was established in 1914, Lagos became its capital, and it continued as such after the country's independence from Britain in 1960. Furthermore, there is also the sorrow or Nigerian Crows of the 19th and early 20th century. They were Africans that were emancipated and initially resettled in Freetown, Sierra Leone. The Royal Navy and the West African Squadron enforced the abolition of the international slave trade after the British Parliament passed the Slave Trade Act in 1807. Those free men who migrated back to Nigeria from Sierra Leone over several generations, starting from the 1830s, became known locally as Saro, Saro being a form of Sierra Leone from the Yoruba word Saro. Consequently and culturally, the Saro descended from Sierra Leone with ancient roots to the Yoruba people of Nigeria. The returnees mostly resided in the Lagos colony with substantial population in Abeokuta and Ibadan. Some also settled in Calabar, Port Harcourt and other cities in the Niger Delta. And also, you know that Lagos has always been a beehive of economic activities even before it became a colony, attracting various kinds of people who later settled and lived there. This situation sustained after it became a capital in 1914 and has even increased drastically from then to date. So there are Nigerian people who may not be Aworis, Benis or Yorubas, as the case may be, who are resident in Lagos with family lineage spanning over 100 to 200 years there. These peoples and many others who live, work or own businesses in Lagos, pay taxes and registered to vote in Lagos are largely referred to as Lagosians in present-day Nigeria. It is not overstating the fact to say now that Lagos is a melting pot culture. That is a multiculturalism where various migrant groups have tended to melt together, abandoning their individual culture and eventually becoming fully assimilated into the predominant society. Now you see that Lagos does have a peculiar history. Of course it does. Number 2 reason why Lagos is no man's land. Everyone knows it. Irrespective of the much that happened in the Lagos elections, Nigerians everywhere largely know that Lagos is no man's land, except we are living in denial, and it doesn't take anything away from Lagos whatsoever. In fact, it can be argued that Lagos has largely attained its current status as economic hub of West Africa and even beyond because it is a no man's land. To deny or reject that now is to set Lagos back. For the fact that Lagos had been a capital territory already distinguishes it from other states in Nigeria. It is never going to be just another unit of the Nigerian Federation like any other state. To further buttress this position, it appears that even the political elite, who seems to be benefiting from the play of the ethnic and tribal card now, may actually understand the notion of Lagos being a no man's land, but denies it for political expediency. Now let's see this. In a news publication by Premium Times on October 5, 2016, titled "How Senate Blocked Tinubu's Bill Seeking Special Status for Lagos," Lagos tries to seek the enforcement of a privilege that no other state in Nigeria can seek to enjoy. The news reads, the Nigerian Senate has voted against the bill seeking special status and federal grant for Lagos State. The bill, sponsored by Oluremi Tinubu, the All Progressives Congress senator representing Lagos Central, was rejected on Wednesday after failing a voice vote called by Efe Cole Amadin. Consequently, the bill, SB 112, fails to scale second reading for committee stage. It sought 1% of federally generated revenue as special grant for Lagos in view of the former Nigeria capital's socio-economic significance. The bill also seeks to compel the federal government to recognize Lagos as the country's commercial capital. But the development did not go without uproar following comments by supporters and opponents of the bill. Furthermore, in another publication by the Vanguard on October 2, 2020, leaders of Arewa community in Lagos State urged the federal government to grant Lagos State special status, lamenting the state's diverse infrastructure challenges since Federal Capital Territory FCT moved to Abuja. So the question now would be, why would anyone ask for these privileges for Lagos? Well, it appears that subconsciously, Nigerians have come to accept that Lagos is special. It is no man's land for all Nigerian peoples. Number 3 reason why Lagos is no man's land. Now, this one is big. Lateef Jakande said it. Many Nigerians may be surprised to know that the statement "Lagos is no man's land" was actually originated or made popular by the first executive governor of Lagos State, the revered Alhaji Lateef Jakande. In fact, I would say, just as the popular definition of democracy being the government of the people, by the people and for the people, is credited to former American President Abraham Lincoln, so should the "Lagos is no man's land" be with Jakande. In his inaugural speech as the first executive governor of Lagos State in 1979, the much that Jakande said about Lagos is quite interesting and very relevant to the subject matter. Please follow me as I read. He said, the creation of Lagos, like all great events, is not the achievement of one single person. The territory now known as Lagos State is the former colony province created by the British administration for their own administrative convenience. Now Jakande goes further. In 1886, Lagos was again set up as a separate colony in response to the petition by the people of Lagos who resented being governed from the Gold Coast. It was administered by Governor of the Colony of Lagos under letters patents dated 13th January 1886. This was the first time that the territory known as Lagos State came under one administration. The administration continued under various constitutions until 1954, when Lagos was separated from the rest of the colony and constituted federal territory, that is to say, a no man's land. Now Jakande continues, thus it is evident that for 89 years from 1862 to 1951, Lagos with or without the rest of the colony enjoyed a separate and distinct existence as a unit of administration with its own governor, deputy governor, lieutenant governor, administrator or commissioner as the case may be. For 68 years from 1886 to 1954, the colony of Lagos, that is the present Lagos State, was administered together as a unit and inseparable whole. From 1914 to 1923, the colony of Lagos had its own legislative council while the rest of Nigeria had another council. In continuing, Jakande said, there will be no discrimination against anyone on the ground of political affiliation, religious beliefs, ethnic or state origin, sex or social status, but we can do all of these things only if all sections of the community cooperate fully with the government they have elected. Now Nigerians, I think Alhaji Lateef Jakande's speech explicitly said enough to settle many questions and rivalries. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please feel free to use the comment section and please do not forget to like this video. Also share if you do not mind. And if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe. Thank you for watching my Naija people. Una do well.